Hello, 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 collective. It's your girl, Jamila Newman, aka Mila. If you know, you know. So there's this energy of seen but not heard. When I went ahead and pulled some cards on this energy, signs and letting go of fear. The collective saw the signs and they released this hold that fear had on them. But someone wanted the collective to be seen, but not heard. They didn't want the collective's truth to be heard. I was picking up on a father figure, in-laws, and a male cousin working together to force this energy upon the collective. And with the seen but not heard energy, their intention was to traffic the collective because it had something to do with some sort of land. There is someone that is a rapist in this energy, someone that assaults people. Seen but not heard. Seen but not heard. What does the collective need to know about this seen but not heard energy? We have the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Swords to the Devil card. They travel towards the collective. They put together this hasty plan, which is now bringing them nightmares because they lied to themselves thinking that they could pull off this plan of action. What do we need to know about this? Okay. We have the Six of Wands and the Ace of Swords. The collective is a leader and works very hard, full of ideas, constantly having victories in this sense of clear thought. What do we need to know about this trafficking? That was their future plans with this Two of Wands and the Chariot. They were determined to put the collective in a situation where they could be taken and trafficked. Five of Swords. They had an advantage of knowing where the collective was at all times because they were being watched. And they saw this as a financial opportunity. It's the Ace of Pentacles. And now they're in this Eight of Swords. They are feeling trapped for this collaboration with the Three of Swords. Why are they feeling trapped? Two of Pentacles. Because the collective is able to balance their priorities, your finances. The collective, your finances have been targeted in order to put you in a high risk situation. If they were able to limit your finances, how much money you have coming in, they were going to be able to take advantage of the collective in some way. The Wheel of Fortune. They were trying to take advantage of your vulnerability and lack of funds. Yeah, confirmation. And that's come to light. Their plans of trafficking the collective has come to light because the collective is in this Empress energy. They're very fruitful, very much nurturing energy. Here we go with the Five of Pentacles. They wanted you out in the cold, collective. So much so that you were either on the streets or in some sort of hotel environment. There's a lot of trafficking happening in those environments where people work together and break into hotel rooms and take people. But you took this Page of Pentacles energy, you saw this, collective. You saw this not just intuitively, but you saw the patterns. You were able to organize your movements based on these patterns. With the Page of Swords and the Two of Cups. The pattern were in the people that were coming into your life, wanting to go on dates, wanting to have emotional unions with you. You saw there was a pattern in their behavior. Maybe it was in how they approached you, as if you were, I don't know, desperate. I'm not trying to say that people are desperate, but maybe their impression that they were left was that the collective was desperate. Hold on. That the collective was in this sense of desperation, that they would need a knight in shining armor to get out. Now it's all in my face. To get out of their circumstance. What else do we need to know? Two of Swords. The collective had a lot of difficult decisions. No, it's not the collective that has a difficult decision. Right now, these energies that work together to try to trap the collective so they can take land from the collective are now fighting. They don't know what to do. A decision has to be made on whether or not to move forward or to stay. Page of Cups to the Hanged Man. Your intuition, your pattern recognition is putting them, it's tying them up. They are unable to maneuver. What else? Oof, the Devil card. Where they wanted you bound and caged so they can profit off of you, seen but not heard. They needed you to look as if you were basically a hoe or promiscuous on some sort of substance, a substance abuser. Not because people that are, there was like a thing of prostitution, because that is the word that popped in my head. People that participate in that type of behavior are less likely to be looked for if they go missing. Does that make sense? People tend to turn a blind eye because they feel as if something bad happens to a person that abuses substances, if they are a person that sells their body for finance and they go missing, that they brought that kind of action upon themselves. And that was their intention, was to paint the collective in this light, so when they went missing, no one would look for them. Now, I'm going to put the cards down for a minute. There has never, ever been an excuse to not search for someone's missing loved one. Because these energies didn't love the collective does not mean that they don't have value. Okay? All life has value. So I'm speaking to the cross watchers that feel as if they are entitled to dictate who is worthy to live and who is not, who is too lowly for anyone to look for. This is why the collective is awake. This is why the collective is fighting, because there have been injustices done to people based on someone's opinion of whether or not they were worthy to care about. When God created these lives, these souls, these people, and God is the one that is the determining factor of who is worthy and who is not. And the collective is here just to shine a light on this disgusting, absolutely atrocious behavior. So now that they were unable to paint the picture or get this picture to be seen by everyone, maybe at first it worked. Maybe at first people were willing to turn a blind eye to this awful, disgusting behavior. But people are now seeing that these people are sick individuals that do these awful things to people and have probably in the past done to many people. And now that it, like the smoke, it's like there's a lot of negative energy in here in the room. The smoke has gone crazy. But anyway, they're very much aware that these people did this intentionally. This was a planned action. This was meticulously planned out for the collective. And if it was planned out for the collective, how many people have they done this to? How many people have disappeared without a trace because some officer thought that they were not worthy to search for? That whatever happened to them is probably due to their own poor choices and decisions. These people are trapped in the cage that they built for you, collective. Three of Wands. They made money. They were able to expand their businesses, create wealth off of the backs of other people. This King of Pentacles. Bold pursuit. So now they're taking aggressive action towards the collective. We have the anxiety, Nine of Swords, anxiety to the Strength card. Because your strength scares them. Your strength puts their game on blast. It highlights every instance that some officer looked the other way. Because now they're not looking the other way. Now they're questioning, what did they miss before the collective came into this investigation? Because there is an investigation. And these people are having sleepless nights, having trouble working, because they're being seen for predators. Premeditated action is being seen and highlighted. What else do we need to know? Still some sort of bold action is being, the Knight of Wands is coming out. Someone's trying to make a plan based on the collective's current habits. So you're being watched, you're being studied. So keep your head on a swivel, not like you wouldn't anyways, collective, but you're being watched and being studied for your habits. When you're out in nature, like if you take lots of walks, you go on hikes, you whatever it is that you're doing, they're trying to find a way to take you still, collective. We have the Death card to the Four of Pentacles in reverse, because they don't want this financial security coming your way. They don't want whatever this land is. This is all about land, which is land is money. Land is prosperity. This is a way for you to lay a foundation for your family, for you. And they don't want you to have it. So they're trying to bring this to an end for you. They're trying to bring a death to the collective's ability to have prosperity, financial security, and your ability to move forward. Six of Swords. What else do we need to know? Ace of Cups. The collective is still going to get their spiritual blessings. And this is what's really got them. They're in the Five of Cups. They're crying. They're grieving. They are upset. They're in full regret for their actions now, only because they are being seen. They are being seen. And now they want to claim, emotional, loss. They're so emotional. They're so upset. They're grieving. They're so remorseful for their action, not because of what they did to the collective or what their attempts, not only what they did to the collective, but what the final plan was for the collective. They're not grieving that. They're grieving that they got caught, that people know what they're doing and are currently investigating these people. All over a Ten of Pentacles. How much is your life worth? These people sold themselves out for money. And the Six of Wands to the Seven of Wands. This is being publicly seen. There are people that are watching, the investigators, people that know what's going on. They're seeing the collective in this stand your ground. You're not going to be able to push me into any type of immoral act to fit your narrative. It's being seen so that you can gain money. Four of Swords to the Three of Pentacles. So these people are retreating mentally. They are not understanding how this isn't working, how this has worked so many times before. We've done this before to many people. We've worked together as a team to come against many a people, to take their land, to take their profit, to take their finances, to pretty much bring every bit of chaos into their life, and it's not working. This was a team effort. Experienced people, experienced in this game that they play with people's lives. And now they have to figure out what to do. They're cornered. And when people are cornered, they take risky action, because these people are going to receive justice for their creative endeavors, their crafty skills in taking people's lives and turning them upside down and then trying to make a profit off of them by selling them off to the highest bidder. What does the collective need to know? Stay in phase, collective, because you are protected. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't do anything risky and, put yourself in any kind of danger. But know that not only are you being watched, but the people that are watching you are being watched. Stay unshakable, unflinching. They didn't know your worth. And if they did know your worth, would that have changed anything? Probably not. Because you're protected. Now they know that you're protected. Now they know that you're one of God's warriors. But does it make a difference when it comes down to it? To just because you're one of God's warriors, all life is important. All life is precious. Everyone deserves to have an opportunity to grow into whatever they want to be without predators trying to take it from them. It's a little too late. These people are suffering through bad habits. They're abusing the things that they said that the collective was abusing. They're still on the computers, on those phones, hacking into your systems, trying as they may to steal whatever they can to make themselves feel better so they can move on to peaceful times. Unfortunately, they all have legal issues. These people are going to be facing court. They're going to be going to jail. They're going to have to deal with the authorities for their poor choices. They're trying to delay these things with paperwork, but that's played out because apparently they've done this before. It's played out. No one's listening to what they're saying. No one is bowing down and giving them continuance after continuance because they've done it too many times. They've had the same excuse to why they can't do something. And they ain't shit. They're doing the same old every day. They're doing the same today as they did yesterday. They do not learn from past mistakes. They don't grow. They hold grudges on you, collective, for surviving. They're holding a grudge on you, collective, because you lived, you escaped these traps over and over and over again. What else do we need to know? Keep shining. Your light is triggering people. Sometimes it's triggering people for the worse, but your light is being seen and also triggering people to look within and to do better, to be better. So keep shining, collective. Keep being unapologetically yourself. Until next time, keep shining. Shine so bright, you piss everyone off.